Hi, my name is Seraphel, and I like to give my dolls new faces inspired by things that I like. Today I'm going to give a new face to this Scared Ice Frankie inspired by aespa's song Whiplash. Recently I've been obsessed with Whiplash, and I especially really like the look that Winter had for their concept photos. On the other hand, I really like the stock outfit that Scared Ice Frankie came with, but I personally prefer my G3 dolls with their chest articulation, so I thought this could be like a quick little face up while I take a break from some of the bigger face ups that I have planned. I'm going to start off by prepping Frankie by covering their body and then masking their hair off with a paper towel and some push pins. Technically, you don't really need to cover the body, but it gives me better grip on the doll, and I don't like the feeling of MSC on the bodies anyway, because it makes it harder to dress the doll in my opinion. I also remove the face with 100% acetone, lint-free wipes, and Q-tips, and I have the pointy ones because they get into the lip crease really well. When you're done wiping off the face, you should really be washing your doll with some soapy water to remove any possible acetone residue. And this is hard for me because I've already masked off the hair using paper towel. So I just use some water in a spray bottle and spray down the face a few times just to be safe. But you should definitely use soapy water if you can. A single hair didn't get under the mask and it was annoying me, so I ripped it out. Finally, I do 2 layers of Mr. Super Clear and I wait 30 minutes after each coat. So the doll is fully prepped, and now I can go in with my sketch. I sketch using a watercolor pencil close to the doll's skin tone, and I use a really light hand because this layer requires a lot of adjusting and erasing, and going in with a heavy hand immediately makes it really hard to make any sort of adjustments. When you're working on such a small scale, positioning and how heavy your lines are is key. So a kneadable eraser is your best friend. Once the sketch is done, I start to go in with my other colors. Since I'm still technically working on the first layer of MSC, I like to use dark brown instead of black here because it still gives me the chance to make any last minute changes or adjustments before I go in with black, which is a lot harder to erase. A tip that I have for forward glances is to have your doll with just a little bit of a cross eye so it looks like their eyes are focused on what's directly in front of them, and it makes the doll look really good in close-up photos, but that's just my opinion. I really like doing mismatched brows on characters with lots of chunky highlights, so Frankie gets a black-haired brow and a white-haired brow. When I finally lay down the foundation for the colors in the eyes and the brows, I can finally go on to my favorite part, which is adding the pastels. Winter has a deep purple, almost black, kind of faded, blurry lip, so to get that effect, I'm going to put down a base lip color on Frankie and then focus black pastel in their lip crease, gently blending it out so you can really see the gradient effect. If you look really closely, Winter also has like this muted gray purple blush on, and I'll do the same with Frankie by taking the same color that I used as their base lip color and mixing it with a lot of white. I also use a little bit of blue on their eyelid just to give some shading and dimension, but I end up smoking it out later with like a darker color just to tie the whole look together better. I used the same purpley pink as their base lip and their cheek on their lower lash line just because I think it really looks cool. At this point, I've done all that I could with the first layer of MSC, so I've added another layer and waited 30 minutes. From here, it's just enhancing and blending the colors that I've already laid down and going in with pastels again until I reach my desired opacity. When I first started doing Faceup, I used to add pastels first, but I noticed it made it a lot harder to adjust the sketch without taking out a section of pastel coloring. You can always lay down the pastels and then seal it with MSC, but I've grown to be a lot stingier with my cans because my Faceups are full watercolor pencil and I need all the MSC I can get. Speaking of which, I think learning how to do Faceups using acrylics is a really good skill set to have. It'll especially save you a lot on MSC, and I really admire people who can do full repaints with acrylic. Maybe one day I'll learn how to do them myself, but for now I really like the style that I've developed just from using watercolor pencils. I think it took 3 layers of MSC for this Faceup in particular to get the full opacity that I wanted. When I'm fully satisfied with how everything looks, I go in with white acrylic to add the catch lights, and then I do 2 final coats of MSC, waiting 30 minutes in between. 2 honestly might be kind of overkill, but I prefer making sure that that face stays on. The key point of Winter's look is the giant ring that she has across her face, and I think that's the main reason why I specifically wanted to do this look on Frankie. I think they look really cool with any sort of like industrial accessory, and I'll add the Frankies that I've done with fun face chains, also inspired by K-pop looks. Anyways, I unbent a paper clip and then I found some things that were generally the circumference of a G3 head, and I ended up using the lid of my Tiger Balm. I'm using my customized Twyla here for a fit reference. I then add a little rhinestone to mimic the little round bit on the accessory, and I use Top Glow as glue because I couldn't find my super glue. I didn't record me doing Frankie's hair, but all I really did was give them a boil wash. I considered giving them Winter's haircut, but I don't trust myself enough to do that. Thank you so much for watching. As you can probably tell, this is the first time I've ever recorded my face-up process, so it's a little jumbled here and there. There's a lot of times where I pull the doll out of view and the light that I'm using flickers a little, so I'm really sorry if that might trigger something for you. I'll try to find a way to figure that out. Leave any questions, comments, or critiques for me, and hopefully I have things ironed out for the next video, if I ever do another video. Thank you so much again. Bye.